Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm genuinely delighted you're here, because today we're settling in for a long, soul-nourishing exploration of Ruth Soukup's modern classic, Living Well, Spending Less. If you've ever stared at cupboards overflowing with bargains, yet felt an unshakable hollowness, or watched your credit card balance creep upward while chasing flash sale highs, this book offers both a gentle wake-up call and a practical roadmap to a life that feels spacious, purposeful, and free. Ruth's own story begins during the extreme couponing craze. On paper, she looked like the queen of thrift. She could stack discounts so expertly that stores sometimes paid her to haul merchandise away. Yet behind the scenes, she was anxious, exhausted, and spiritually depleted. One afternoon, surrounded by teetering towers of shampoo and cereal, she realized her obsessive deal hunting had become a form of bondage. That epiphany launched a journey that distilled into 12 principles, half designed to stop mindless spending, half to build a life you truly love. She starts with gratitude, insisting that a thankful heart is the antidote to the urge to accumulate. A simple practice of writing down 3 blessings each morning gradually shifts focus from what's missing to what already overflows, and studies she cites from positive psychology researchers confirm the payoff. Grateful people sleep better, worry less, and make calmer financial decisions. Once gratitude loosens the grip of discontent, she tackles comparison. Scrolling endless inspiration boards, she explains, whispers, "You're not enough unless you buy this." Her remedy is to mute digital noise with scheduled social media fasts and craft a personal vision statement so compelling that ads lose their allure. With the inner foundation laid, Soukup pivots to the outer work. She teaches readers to shop with purpose, completing a needs versus wants inventory before every trip, so fleeting desires have time to cool. Next comes the famous declutter blitz. Room by room, she invites us to keep only what is loved, useful, or irreplaceable, releasing the rest to donation or recycling. The physical clearing makes way for mental calm, which in turn fuels better budgeting. Meal planning earns its own chapter because food waste silently devours thousands of rupees a year. Soukup's Sunday ritual: survey the pantry, draft a week of meals that use what's already on hand, and batch prep vegetables, cuts grocery bills, curbs restaurant temptations, and rescues weeknight sanity. Paper clutter follows. Incoming mail drops straight into 3 folders labeled action, file, and shred, so counters stay clear and late fees disappear. She even addresses the toy tsunami that parents face, proposing a capsule collection approach that teaches children stewardship instead of hoarding. Midway through the book, she challenges readers to a 31-day spending freeze. Outside of basic groceries and fixed bills, nothing new comes home. The journal you keep during the freeze becomes a mirror, revealing how often boredom, loneliness, or envy masquerade as needs. On the other side of the month, many discover they feel lighter, freer, and oddly richer without having earned a single extra rupee. Soukup then champions the joy of do-it-yourself, not to shame anyone into churning butter, but to celebrate creativity over consumption. Potluck game nights outshine pricey dinners. A hand-built backyard fire pit sparks deeper conversation than another streaming subscription. Each creative swap deposits savings into what she calls the dream fund. Generosity, though, precedes even saving in her hierarchy. She urges readers to give first, whatever percentage feels stretching yet sustainable, because giving breaks greed's spell and reminds us that money is a tool, not a master. Automated transfers to emergency and long-term funds follow, and everyday spending adjusts to what's left. That order flips the typical paycheck routine and quietly reshapes character. All the decluttering and budgeting, she insists, are only stage 1. The real adventure starts when freed-up resources aim at a dream that sets your soul on fire. Launching a micro-business, paying cash for graduate school, or taking the family on a month-long service trip. She guides readers through smart goal setting, breaking intimidating visions into weekly micro-tasks that fit on a single index card. The closing message is that a good life isn't built by occasional grand gestures, but by small daily rhythms. Morning gratitude, shared family dinners, Sunday night budget check-ins. These habits safeguard the freedom you've fought to win. Sukup layers her practical advice with insights from behavioral economics. Dopamine spikes created by scoring deals are fleeting. Clutter, stress, and debt linger. Decision fatigue studies show that simplifying wardrobes, meals, and schedules frees willpower for wiser choices. Neurologists have even found that consistent gratitude journaling thickens the prefrontal cortex, boosting self-control. In other words, the humble rituals she prescribes remodel the brain as well as the budget. She digs into the psychology of overspending, explaining how emotional triggers, loss, boredom, a hunger for status, send us toward retail therapy. She recommends swapping the swipe with a restorative habit. Phone a friend, step outside for fresh air, or write a gratitude note. Gradually, the brain associates comfort with connection rather than consumption. Screens, she warns, can silently siphon both minutes and money. A week-long phone use audit often reveals more hours on shopping apps than on exercise or reading to the kids. Instituting phone-free evenings or Sunday digital Sabbaths restores conversation and collapses impulse buys. For parents, Sukup outlines a commission system that replaces passive allowances with paid chores divided into give, save, and spend jars. Children watch savings grow, feel the delayed gratification of matching funds, and discover that generosity begins at any age. Couples locked in money fights are coached to convert the hated budget meeting into a dream mapping session, each spouse retaining a small no-questions-asked line item to preserve autonomy while uniting around shared goals. The numbers she shares on debt are sobering. A 100,000 Indian rupees balance at 18% interest balloons to 172,000 Indian rupees in 6 years if serviced only by minimum payments. Listing debts smallest to largest and attacking them with unbridled intensity, she writes, delivers quick psychological wins that fuel perseverance on bigger balances. She even supplies scripts for negotiating lower interest rates with lenders. Although her Christian faith quietly frames money as stewardship, Sukup's principles resonate beyond any single creed. She describes her family's blessing jar, into which they slip anonymous cash gifts or encouraging notes, later delivered to someone in need. The practice trains hearts toward open-handedness. To make the abstract tangible, she shares a day-in-the-life snapshot. The alarm sounds at 6 for prayer, gratitude, and a review of 3 top priorities. Breakfast relies on ingredients prepped earlier in the week. Focused work hours banish email and shopping sites. Errands happen once, on a loop mapped for fuel efficiency. Purchases limited to a handwritten list. After school, the library replaces retail as the default outing. Dinner features the family's high-low blessing ritual, and evenings end with a board game or backyard bonfire instead of television. By 9:30, the budget log is updated, a final gratitude penned, and lights are out by 10. Over the long term, the compound effect is stunning. Families feature in the book slash household expenses by 60%, pay off mortgages years early, or redirect savings into ventures that align income with purpose. Yet most testify that the deepest reward isn't the bank balance swing. It's the serenity that settles when days, dollars, and dreams finally row in the same direction. If you're wondering where to begin, Sukup suggests baby steps. Start a gratitude journal tonight. Purge one clutter hotspot this weekend. Schedule a 31-day spending freeze next month. And hold your first family budget meeting, complete with snacks and upbeat music, soon after. Even if you achieve only half of these steps in twice the time, momentum will build. And momentum is the secret protagonist in every success story she tells. Perhaps you feel you're already frugal and have nothing new to learn. Sukup would gently ask whether your savings simply reroute into different forms of excess. Crafting supplies that gather dust, backup appliances that never leave the box, free goodies that cost hours to organize. On the other hand, if debt or clutter feels overwhelming. Her candid admission of past failures proves that radical change can start with a single honest moment. Shame keeps us stuck. Vulnerability sets us free. By methodically addressing the mind, the home, the budget, and finally the heart, living well, spending less delivers a holistic transformation. It's not about living on rice and beans or decorating with burlap. It's about clearing noise so you can hear your life speak. Money becomes a servant rather than a master, and possessions shrink to their proper size. Tools to support purpose, never substitutes for it. Thank you so much for staying with me through this deep dive. If this extended summary sparked fresh ideas or a flicker of hope, please tap the like button. Subscribe for more content that helps you master your money without losing your joy, and share in the comments which insight resonated most. Your story might inspire someone else in our community. Until next time, keep decluttering, keep budgeting, and most importantly, keep living well and spending less. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you in the next video.